Hi everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm Lynn with Plasma Energy Solution, and today is March 25th. And I wanted to just bring you a couple of really great testimonials that I got on the 24th. And one of them, I'm going to read it to you because I don't want to leave anything out. And this is on anxiety relief. Hi Lynn, I just wanted to let you know how much my family and I appreciate you along with the amazing products you offer. Recently, we received the anxiety relief, which we used for my granddaughter. Her parents are divorced and our daughter and grandchild moved back home a little over 3 years ago. The little one has been suffering separation anxiety from her mom ever since she has been having overnights with her father. As time went on, her anxiety has slowly increased. Within the last several months, it has accelerated in a fast pace. Early on, her anxiety outburst lasted maybe 1 or 2 days, but during the last several months, she has displayed her anxiety behavior almost every day. She seemed angry and would lash out at us. Her screaming fits would last for hours until she was completely exhausted and her voice was hoarse. She didn't want to get up in the morning, nor did she want to go to bed at night. We also had difficulties getting her to eat and drink fluids. We implemented some natural remedies which influenced her behavior slightly, but her anxiety level was just too high. We were running out of options on what to do to alleviate her symptoms. Then I came across Plasma Energy Solutions, and after talking to you, Lynn, we decided to try the anxiety relief. We sprayed it on her clothes, bedding, toys, her hair, added it to her bath water, as well as her drinking water, along with the Plasma Energy Station water, and we also cooked with it. To our total amazement, within hours, we had our sweet little grandbaby back. She is now once again cheerful, playful, laughing, and even has jokes for us, as well as giving us plentiful hugs and kisses, which we have not received in a while. Even though she still doesn't want to have overnights with her dad, she no longer displays anything of great concern. She is more accepting of her circumstance regarding being away from her mom. I can say with certainty that we can attribute this positive change to the plasma energy. All I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. I am now a believer and I'm looking forward to see what the other plasma energy products will do for us. Blessings. That is just awesome. I love it when I hear things like that. And what an amazing improvement for this little girl and for her family. And I just wanted to read this to you guys because there's a lot of anxiety going on right now around all the stuff that's in the news or isn't in the news. And so I just wanted you to see this application. And I want you to remember that with the virus relief, we added the energies that are also found in anxiety relief. I just felt that was really an important addition to it. And there are other great energies in the virus relief also. So you'll want to go on the website and read the blogs about that. And then there was another one that we got, and this was also on the 24th. And this is a testimonial in question about the Plasma Energy Station. I just have to tell you that I already feel better physically and emotionally drinking the Energy Station water. I feel better just having it in the house, actually. I started noticing a difference as soon as it came in the mail, and before I made up my Energy Station. I'm sleeping better. I feel more rested when I wake. I have more energy and endurance than before. I seem to be getting more work done. And the best part of all is that I'm not running to the toilet with loose stool as usual. Too much information? Ha. It was just awful because my anxiety would kick in about something I needed to get done, and off I go, and I was lucky if I made it. I think they call that anxiety diarrhea. It's actually very debilitating. My anxiety seems to be way down, if not gone completely. I am not hungry as much as I used to be. And as a big bonus, I don't feel so bitchy, menopause. I may order some more items to throw in with my energy station soon. I combined a bunch of the items together for me, the people batch, and another jar for the dogs and the many cats I have. I used everything for the people batch from the energy station, including peace, high-tech frequency, well, it's actually new tech frequency relief, virus relief, healthy gut, etc., and added it to everything for the animals as well. I made a pair of pads and put the 3-to-1 gradient in the pads on their gravity-fed water bowls that are clear. And that's a great idea because a lot of you do have those gravity-fed bowls. And so rather than trying to put a vial in them that might impede the flow of the water, just make a pair of pads and put it on either side of the container, of the water dispensing part of the container. I've sprayed my poor lab mixes, Marley and Sophie, who suffer from skin allergies, especially Marley, my yellow lab. The poor guy. He would constantly chew and scratch himself to the point of bleeding, and it was constant. It was really nice to see him get some peace and not be uncomfortable anymore. And this reminds me of somebody several years ago who had a bottle of spray of the plasma energy water, and she had a neighbor with a dog that had just chewed a place on his paw raw, and that can be pretty common ailment that dogs will have because they start the chewing, and then when you're trying to take medications or bandage it, they chew off the bandage, and the more they chew, the worse it becomes, and the worse it becomes, the more they chew, and it just goes on and on. Well, she took the spray bottle, plasma energy water, and sprayed it on his feet, and it wasn't long before he completely quit chewing. And that was just awesome because then the whole thing could heal up and you can step out of that vicious cycle. So that was great when I heard that. And so I'll continue on with this. I haven't had the plasma energy water that you sent less than a week, so that is pretty good. I look forward to continued good health with this. And I want to thank you and Dr. Paul once again for committing your lives and time to this, and especially for your good intentions going forward to me and the world. I know he is in a better place now, but my intention to him is gratitude. I do have a question for you, though. Do I need to keep the pads on or the vials on the clear glass or plastic containers? Or are the clear containers charged forever? I know you said that it stays in your clothes when you put the plasma water in the rinse cycle. In other words, can I take the vials and pads off of these items and know there will be never-ending plasma from them with or without the vials or pads attached, even as I add more new water to them? I hope that makes sense. If you need clarification, please let me know. Well, I'd never had that question before, so I really kind of had to think about it, and I said, well, hi, first of all, thanks for the great testimonial. I'm glad to hear of all the improvements, and I know you and your dogs are relieved to have some improvements. As a matter of course, Paul and I left pads and vials on our containers. You're right about the plasma energy staying in the clothing, and I know it stays in the packing materials, as people have said they have used some of those packing materials under mattress pads for providing energy fields when they sleep, and they had noticed a difference. We never experimented with taking the vials or the pads off. I go through a lot of water sharing during the day myself with cooking, the cats, the plants, so I'm constantly adding water to the plasma energy station. My preference is to leave the vials and the pads on, if nothing else but for the belief of people who might really find it a stretch to believe that the water is changed in a container with nothing visibly attached. Thanks, Lynn. So that was my answer, because I think she's really on to the fact that, yes, the containers will hold the energy fields. And we have even said that if you received a glass of broken vials, don't throw them out. Just put the whole batch on the container. And generally in that situation, before we were using the plastic vials in the winter, we would replace those vials that froze and broke. So that's why we use the BPA-free plastic in the winter, because it just isn't an issue anymore. But just remember, anything you're throwing away, I guess you can look at it in the big picture. You're enhancing the energy fields at the landfill, wherever it goes. So your choice if you keep the packing and use it for something else, or if you throw it out. So, and I don't expect all of you to hang on to the yards of tape that you get around those packages. So the other thing I want to share with you today is just how do I use the plasma energy around the house? Okay, and I'm going to tell you right up front, these are things that I have made, I use. I don't sell them, they're not market ready, they're not beautiful, but they work, okay? So let's go into our mouth first. Now, I keep this jar in my bathroom because I continuously fill my water pick with it. And I have station water in there. I have a vial of the station water, and then at the top of this, you can see that there's a vial of the clean mouth. So this is just always there changing, and as the water goes down in my the irrigation reservoir, I just add water to it. And when this goes down, I just add water to it. So that's the first thing that I do. And then, now this definitely is not market ready. What is this? It's toothpaste. Everybody's going to jump up and say, yes, I want to make my teeth white and clean with black toothpaste. Well, okay, what this is, it's coconut oil. What makes it black is there's a little bit of charcoal in it. Charcoal has a lot of good cleansing qualities to it and additional qualities. And a very little bit of black goes a very long ways. Then there's also there's baking soda in it, there's zeolite, there's xylitol, and then I always will add a little bit of essential oils. This happens to be peppermint, and I'll just add some essential oils for flavoring. But then, I know they say oil and water don't mix, but when I'm making up a big jar of it, I will add some station water and some clean mouth to it and stir it all up. Now, another thing that I can add to this would be the NewTek frequency relief. Why that? Well, it's got the shungite in it, which also has very excellent qualities, and it has silver GANs with the shungite. So some of that water can go in the mix when you're mixing up your toothpaste. And then what I do is I just mix it up in bigger jars and keep it in the refrigerator and fill my small jar as I need it. So there's an idea for toothpaste. And there isn't a way around the black if you use charcoal. I've used less charcoal, and then you can brush your teeth with gray toothpaste. So it's your choice, gray or black, whatever. Now, this is, I repurpose bottles all the time, and this happened to have been, had a different purpose, But this is what I make my mouthwash in. And my mouthwash now is station water, and you can add, the station water has silver gans in it, and it has gold gans in it, which are very healing, very therapeutic. Then I take different oils for whatever flavor I want. And I may have, I think I'll put cloves, cinnamon, peppermint, wintergreen, and a little bit goes a long ways. If you put in a little too much, you may find it has a real bite to it. So that's a much better alternative than swilling something in your mouth with a high alcohol content that's very damaging to your tissues in your mouth and in your throat. So that takes care of the mouth, okay? Now what do I do with hand lotion? Well, this is a nice green tea, hemp, Asian pear lotion, but I add some plasma energy water to it, okay? And you don't have to add a lot, just add a little bit and shake it all up. And then I use a liquid soap at all my sinks and showers, and I add the plasma energy water to it. And if you're into scents or something, you could certainly add, say, a lavender scent or whatever scent was pleasing to you. Okay, so what else do we have? All right, this is the vial. After we made the eye formula, we filled this jar with, and we always would shake it up before we used it and then let it separate. But this is the eye formula, and here's the dropper. I just take the lid off, and after it separates and the oil is back on top, I will draw some of the oil off of this. And I was talking to Dr. Ann today, who's a veterinarian in Arizona, and she instantly got using the oil on the eyes because people are going, oh, well, I don't know that I want to use oil in my eye, and yeah. Okay, let me tell you why. When you put water on your eye, you're going to tear up, and the effects are not going to last nearly as long as when you put the oil in your eye, because it's going to pool down here, and when you blink again, it's going to come back up over your eye. So it's going to last a lot longer and provide those plasma energies that are supportive of whatever eye condition you have. So that's the reason for the eye oil. And once again, I'll say to you, we've used olive oil, but you have to be careful that it doesn't have a pepper note, because it will sting the daylights out of your eyes if you do. And some people prefer using a fractionated coconut oil, and almond oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil. So whatever to you is a good quality oil, non-GMO, non-polluted type of oil, then that's what you'll want to use. And you can also do something like this if somebody in the family has issues with their ears. You could take the plasma energy water, or even if they had tinnitus, and set up a similar formula. Get yourself a dropper, and you can drop a few drops in your ears. Now, if you do it before you go to bed, obviously you don't want it to treat the pillowcase and not the ears, so just put a little cotton in your ears to kind of keep everything there. Okay, so what else do I make? And again, these aren't market ready. This is deodorant, okay? Now, what does it have in here? Well, there's probably turmeric in there because it's a little orange. There's coconut oil. There's arrowroot. There's baking soda. And there's station water. There's, I'm kind of a some cook. And when I'm doing all of this, I get in the kitchen and then I go, oh, I think I'll add some of this to it, or I'll add some of that to it. But those are the basic ingredients. And again, I just make up a big batch of this, put it in a big jar, and then it can go into my smaller jars as I need them. Now I have another one that I call skin oil. And again, the base of it is coconut oil. Then I've also used hemp oil, and I've used probably jojoba oil, sunflower oil, whatever I had on hand, almond oil. There might have been some grapeseed oil in it. The green is going to come from the hemp. And then I'm going to add the station water and any other waters I think are appropriate. Okay? And again, you can make up a big batch of it. It's going to last you a long time. And if supplies become short on things that you were used to using and you can't get them, well, try making your own stuff at home. It's, you know, once you get into it, it's pretty easy and it's very economical, okay? Now another thing, I have something here that I call Cancer, and I mixed it with another lotion salve that I had. And the reason for that is I felt it was really important to have a triple major in college. And so it was English and history and suntanning. And so of course now I'm paying for the suntanning part with occasional skin cancers, so we can deal with them with the you'll see what's on the lid there, and I've added that to the Cancer, to the combination that's in there, and I believe I've also added that into my skin oil combination. Now I had some salve, and it was a real nice rosemary salve that I'd gotten somewhere. And I noticed that when I went outdoors, sometimes I'd come back in and my nose would feel very dry and raw, which is kind of unusual because, well, it's wintertime, it wasn't hot, the wind wasn't blowing, etc., etc. And so I added New Tech Frequency, I added Virus Relief to this. And Virus Relief does happen to have the combination of a lot of energies in it, so you ought to look that up because it's going to be very supportive of the body. I included anxiety relief energies in it just because of all the anxiety around what's going on in the news or isn't going on in the news. So there's another use of that. And I can just take a little of this and apply it in my nostrils, and it gets rid of that kind of raw feeling. So that is that. And then I also just keep in, this is Cancer and oil on top, and that can be also a topical application on the skin. And anytime you're using the oils, Dr. Paul always liked to shake them up and just give a little action to the plasma energy that was in there, and then just let it separate. And you'll see I shook the olive oil and the eye formula, and you can see that that's already separating. Now it is cloudy in the eye formula water, and it tends to get that way after you've used it for some time because you still have that combination of the oil and the water and not the total separation. All right, and I had a, let me see, I want to see if I had a call from somebody, and he was asking me questions about the plasma energy station, and he said, all the vials look very clear, and some of them didn't look as clear when he originally got them. Does that mean the energy's all gone? No, it does not mean the energies are all gone. And he happened to mention something which I found was kind of curious, that he kept his station out in the garage. And I just want to put it this way to you. My plasma energy station is an honored and treasured gift in my house. And I wouldn't keep it in a closet, and I wouldn't keep it in the basement, and I wouldn't keep it in the garage. It's on the kitchen counter because I'm coming and going in the kitchen, getting glasses. Well, here's an example. This is a cup of water I drink, but it goes in my coffee, it goes in my teas, it goes in my soups. If anything, I use water for. I want it right there at my fingertips so I can use it. It's right there when I want to fill up the sprayer for the plants. It's right there to add to the water dishes for the cats. So I do hope you'll treat your plasma energy as an honored guest and not as your least favorite relative. So, and I do want to also mention another really, really great combination that's just been put together and made available to you is Healthy Senior. So do go on the website. I've got a couple of new blogs up there with the newer videos, and there is another video that asks you, is it time for a reality check? Are you prepared if your life doesn't go back to what you thought was normal? Because we may be in a new normal. We could even be in the higher end of the new normal and say, gee, remember at the very beginning when it was like this, but it isn't even that way anymore. So I just want you to take time, take a stock of what you've got around you. Make sure you have money in your wallet, gas in your car tank, and food in the pantry. Okay? Let's have more than a can of beans and a box of crackers in there, because you may need more. And for those of you who need a good laugh, there's been a lot in the news about toilet paper, okay? And some of the journalists are making the point, you know, if you don't have food in the house, you sure aren't going to need toilet paper. But look on the YouTubes for a Carol Burnett skit on toilet paper. It's just a hoot, and it really made me laugh. And for those of you that are shut in and not liking it, and when is this going to end, there's some great entertainment available. And if you just need a good laugh, get out there and look for it. There's a hilarious Carol Burnett skit with the guys that she used to have on her show. Tim Conway was one of it, and it's about the dentist. And I get a huge laugh out of it every time I see it. So I want to close. Of course, I didn't have it right here with me. So let me see if I can get my fingers on it. Yep, I can. And I want to close with this again today. Our intention and invitation. All the plasma energy that originated from Paul and Lynn's efforts joins every other bit of plasma energy that originated from Paul and Lynn's efforts, wherever that plasma energy is in the world. On the land, in the waters of the rivers, the lakes and oceans, in the air and the clouds above. All that plasma energy brings Paul and Lynn's intention everywhere on, above, around, and below the surface of planet Earth, that all living beings are filled with love, peace, joy, freedom, prosperity, and well-being. And with the ethics and morality to support the love, peace, joy, freedom, prosperity, and well-being of all living beings on planet Earth, including the living being, our home, planet Earth. All of like intentions are invited to join. Okay, well, that's it for today, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Remember, if you need a laugh, there's plenty to find to laugh about. And do find something to be grateful about every day. Find something to laugh at, and find something to appreciate, whether it's whatever it is in the beauty that is around you. It might be a sunset, it might be a bird, it might be a flower, it might be a painting. Whatever it is, just find time to appreciate and enjoy each and every day. Okay, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Please do check out all the testimonials, frequently asked questions, the blogs, the articles, the mini videos at plasmaenergysolution.com. And remember, everything you have is something you can share with someone else with your plasma energy. So I hope you have a good day. If you've liked this video, please do give me a thumbs up and do share it with others. Thank you.